Some way inside you, a quiet pain has been living in silence, and God felt it. Long before you ever found words for it, there are hurts you never said out loud. Hurts that stayed tucked away in corners of your heart you rarely visit. Hurts you tried to bury because facing them felt too heavy. Hurts you carried alone because you didn't want to burden anyone. Hurts that settled inside you so deeply you stopped expecting them to change. But listen, God felt that hurt first. Before you understood it, before you admitted it, before you even recognized it as pain, before you dared to whisper, "This still affects me." God knew. He saw the moment the wound formed. He saw the moment the emotion sank. He saw the moment your heart started carrying what your voice couldn't express. He felt it first. He has felt it longer, and he is healing it now. Listen, pain doesn't always show up as tears or trembling hands. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking, as silence, as numbness, as avoidance, as pretending you're fine. When something inside you is tired of pretending, there are feelings you never fully process, moments you never really talked about, memories you tried to forget, even though your heart remembered, and the weight of all of it stayed inside you in ways you couldn't describe. But God knew. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Close, not distant, not waiting for you to explain. Close enough to feel what you feel, even when you hide it. Listen, you didn't mean to carry this pain alone. It just happened. You stayed quiet because you didn't want to seem dramatic. You stayed quiet because you didn't want people to question you. You stayed quiet because the pain was complicated and the words felt too small for it. You stayed quiet because you learned to function with the ache. But heaven never mistook your silence for absence of pain. God has been sitting with the parts of you He never showed anyone. He's been holding the pieces you didn't know how to name. He's been healing emotions you didn't know how to release. He's been comforting wounds you never felt safe enough to reveal. Listen, some hurts run deep because they came from moments that shaped you before you understood yourself. Words that cut, absence that changed you, rejection that stayed inside your chest, disappointments that settled like dust on every part of your heart. And the longer something stays unspoken, the louder it becomes within you. But even in the silence, God has been listening. Psalm 139:2 says, "You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar." He doesn't wait for you to pray perfectly. He heals from the inside out. Listen, there were days You held your breath just to hold yourself together. Days when your voice was steady, but your heart was shaken. Days when no one noticed how close you were to breaking. But God noticed. He noticed the heaviness behind your deep sighs. He noticed the emotion you swallowed instead of speaking. He noticed the smile you used to hide the ache. He noticed the pain you tried to normalize. And He has been feeling it with you every single day. Listen, God knows the hurts you minimized, the hurts you dismissed, the hurts you told yourself, I should be over this by now. The hurts you were ashamed to still feel, the hurts you tried to heal on your own, the hurts you outgrew physically, but never emotionally. Nothing is too old or too silent for God to heal. Isaiah 58:9 says, Then you will call and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help and He will say, Here am I. God doesn't just hear your cry. He feels your cry, even when it's silent. Listen. Some healing begins the moment you finally stop hiding the wound. Other healing begins the moment you stop pretending nothing hurts. And sometimes healing begins before you even realize you need it. This is one of those moments, not a moment of collapse, not a moment of breaking, but a moment of revelation. God is healing the hurt you never spoke out loud. You thought this wound was permanent. You thought this emotion was something you'd always carry. You thought this ache was part of your story forever. But that is not what heaven decided for you. Listen. God is touching the part of you that stopped believing healing was possible. He is touching the memory you stopped revisiting because it hurt too much. He is touching the disappointment you quietly tucked away. He is touching the fear you didn't want to admit lived inside you. He is touching the sadness you thought you'd outgrown. He is touching the loneliness you hid behind strength. He's healing it all, layer by layer. Some healing will feel instant. Some healing will feel gentle. Some healing will feel slow but sure. Some healing will feel like release. Some healing will feel like rediscovering yourself. Some healing will feel like God giving back parts of your heart you thought were gone forever. But healing is happening right now, inside you. Listen. You do not have to explain your pain for God to remove it. You do not have to articulate your hurt for Him to comfort it. You do not have to justify your emotions for Him to validate them. God is not waiting on your words. He is responding to your heart. He felt your hurt first. He carried it with you. And now He is healing it for you. This is the season where long-standing wounds finally begin to loosen, where buried emotions begin to lift, where heaviness begins to break, where tears turn into release, where silence turns into restoration. God is turning the ache into healing, the heaviness into peace, the wound into testimony. What once felt unmovable is being touched by the one who can move mountains. What once felt too deep is being reached by the one who searches hearts. What once felt lifelong is being undone by the one who makes all things new. Revelation 21:5 says, "He who is seated on the throne said, I am making everything new." Everything. Even this. Even the hurt you never spoke out loud. Listen. You are not too late for healing. You are not too broken for restoration. You are not too silent for God to hear you. You are not too complicated for God to understand you. This wound will not define you. This memory will not follow you forever. This ache will not own you. This pain will not stay. God is healing what you carried quietly. God is restoring what you survived silently. God is lifting what you buried inwardly. God is healing what you thought and you had to live with forever. And this time, the healing is real. God has seen the pain you never spoke. He has felt the hurt you hid. And He is healing you in ways your heart is finally ready to receive. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so this devotional can reach someone carrying silent pain tonight. And if you feel led, comment, God is healing what I never voiced. May His peace find you today.